This is an exclusive on Infamous Sylvia. 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 This is an exclusive on Infamous Sylvia.
Who's got the ring? Want to check on the jury.
This is an exclusive on Infamous Sylvia. 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 This is an exclusive on Infamous Sylvia.
First reaction from this way. Sitting there.
Yeah, that was the point.
Okay. All right, this is the matter of the state of Georgia versus Ernest Williams. The defendant is in custody under complaint number 23 CP 219961, charging that complaint with aggravated sexual battery, rape, aggravated sodomy, sexual battery, and trafficking a person for sexual servitude. Appears that Mr. Williams was arrested on July 7th of 2022 and has been continuously in custody since that time. The motion for bond was filed September 25th of this year. It appears that Mr. Williams' first appearance hearing was July 10th. Should that date be 23? Has he been in custody since July of 22 or 23?
July of 22.
All right. I'm seeing what I thought was a first appearance form from July 10th of 2023. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or did he have an earlier hearing?
He was in custody on other CP cases.
Got it. All right. So in connection with this complaint, there was a bond hearing in July of 23. During that hearing, a $50,000 bond was set on one of the counts. And there was subsequently appears a preliminary hearing. Is that correct, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is your last name Rondon?
Yes, it is.
All right. And that is what brings you before the court. And so the court is ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Before you is Mr. Williams. He is 58 years old, and he is a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. And he does have the majority of his family here, including his 6 children that are all grown adults. He has a 12th grade education from Richmond Academy, and prior to his arrest in 2022, he owned and operated several businesses. His incarceration has, of course, put those businesses on pause, and they have not been operating since then. He does have significant ties to the community, as he's been here his entire life. I do not believe Mr. Williams is a flight risk. I do see one FTA on his GCIC from 2004, but it is nearly 20 years old, and Mr. Williams is looking forward to his day in court to prove his innocence of all charges against him. I would ask Your Honor to please set bond in this case, and for bond not to exceed $100,000 total.
The FTA from 2004 was in connection with what offense?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, I believe that charge is a robbery.
Were you able to find the information?
Your Honor, yes, it looks like the failure to appear was from a probation, and the charges are armed robbery and theft by receiving.
And are those charges still open and pending?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
The state?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alicia Taylor for the state. The state is requesting no bond for Mr. Williams. We state that he's a danger to the community. In this case, Mr. Williams was, met the victim at a gas station and basically befriended her, stated that he could help her with her career. She was a young woman, 19 years old, who wanted to go into the hair business. He's a person of means as he's married to a local or a celebrity radio personality, and used that to deceive her into thinking that he could help her with her career. At some time, he met with her at his motor coach, took her to the back of that motor coach and forcibly penetrated her, placing his penis in her vagina and anus area, Your Honor. She repeatedly stated that she did not want to engage in sexual activity with him. He did threaten her and insist that she needed to engage in these activities so that he could help her with her career. He also forced her to sign a contract in blood.
What does that mean?
Basically, he pricked her finger, Your Honor, took the blood and gave her sign a contract. She was young, again, 19, and felt compelled and coerced into these activities. Furthermore, we would state that he is a flight risk worker. There were several jail calls where he talked about leaving the country. One jail call, he talked about having the willingness to provide because he had the means to do so. There were other jail calls where he discussed going out of state to Florida, as well as other locations. But not only to the danger of the community and flight risk, the victim is still very scared for her life. She is not pregnant for today, but it's just her, the fact that she's still severely traumatized and it's in fear of him intimidating and coming to get her if he were to get out. The state, Your Honor, based on all those facts and the fact that he does have several cycles for criminal history. He had 19 cycles and at least 4 convictions. One conviction was in 1988 for theft. Another conviction was in 1990 for armed robbery and possession of a firearm. And another conviction, he had armed robbery again. That was related to the failure to appear as discussed by defense.
Was that a conviction from 2004, or has that case not been formally charged?
The armed
And
robbery.
let me just be clear, counsel, I'm not interested in cycles. I'm interested in felony convictions.
Yes, Your Honor. These are convictions that I'm relating to, Your Honor.
All right, so we have a 1990 armed robbery, a 1988 theft.
And in 1992 armed robbery again, Your Honor. There was also a 2006 false statement, guilty conviction, Your Honor,
All right, so let's go back to the 1988 theft case. Where did that occur?
in Folsom County, Your Honor.
Before what judge? What was the sentence?
Your Honor, because that case was in 1988, I do not have the full reading, but I do know that he was sentenced to 4 years of probation and that it occurred, the sentencing was in August of 1989.
And the 1990 armed robbery, what jurisdiction?
That was in Cobb County, Your Honor.
The sentence in that case?
Your Honor, I do not have the sentence for the Cobb County. I do know that it was a 10-year conviction. And,
Did we sentence to 10 years?
yes, Your Honor, 10 years of confinement.
Let me just suggest to the state that going forward, when we have these kinds of hearings, the prior history is helpful to the court, and that includes the date of conviction, the nature of the charge, the jurisdiction, and the sentence.
Thank you.
All of that information. I don't know what other judges need, but that's what I need.
Thank you, Your Honor.
As to the 1992 armed robbery,
That was in Douglas County, Your Honor. He was sentenced to 10 years.
so is that a concurrent sentence to the Cobb case?
It is, Your Honor.
And was it a straight custodial sentence?
It was 10 years of confinement, Your
Right. And when I say straight, was there any period of probation or?
Honor. No, Your Honor, it looks like it was straight custodial.
Finish my question, Ms. Taylor. All right, and the fourth conviction was what?
It was for giving false statements, Your Honor, in Cobb County on August 9th of 2006.
The sentence?
It looks like he was sentenced to 1 year of confinement, Your Honor. Straight confinement.
What the jurisdiction for that one again, please?
That was in Cobb County.
Cobb. Anything else?
No, there are several pending charges. They are CP numbers. The state is intending to indict those in the next 30 days.
All right. I'd like to know a bit about those because when I look at the booking information I have, there are quite a number, as you've indicated, cycles, but I'm unable to tell what the status of most of these cases is. So how many pending unindicted cases are there?
So there are 4 pending unindicted cases, Your Honor. There were 2 others that were dismissed, but will likely be brought again. There's pending investigation on those cases, Your Honor.
Do you have the incident dates from the pending cases?
So one date was on July 12th. Another one was on
July 12th of what year?
I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. One case is September 27th of 2021.
All right, you're losing the counsel. Are we talking about July 12th or September?
I'm starting at September.
The date again, please. Can we pull the door up? I can't hear.
September 27th of 2021. It is a theft by deception case.
What jurisdiction, are all of these in Fulton? All right.
There is another case that is June 23rd of 2021. It is a theft by deception again. There is a case from July 7th of 2022. It is for possession of child pornography. And there is, if you're ready on, there's also a case for theft by deception of June 4th of 2022, also in Folsom County, theft by deception.
So I guess the question becomes, if you contend that he's such a danger to the community and a flight risk, why do you have all these pending cases, particularly the one involving child pornography, that involves allegations of child pornography?
Yes, Your Honor. We've been in contact with the law enforcement agency and we're awaiting several pieces of child sexually explicit material that has to be viewed before we indict it. We want to make sure we have the correct charges.
Well, how sure you have to be for something that's alleged to have occurred over a year ago,
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
And the reason I'm asking that question is because if the state contends, as you've argued, and I think I understand your argument to some extent, that Mr. Williams is dangerous, if he was arrested for child pornography in July of 22, and the state wasn't diligent in moving forward with prosecution, he's back out. Now we have a second alleged victim of similar crimes.
Your Honor, actually, the cases were kind of simultaneous.
What's the incident date for this case?
When he was arrested,
I just need to know the incident date.
This case was July of 2022.
All right. July of what? When I say this case, I mean the CP case for which the court is holding the bond here.
Okay. Your Honor, I have to give some background.
No, you can answer my question first. What is the date for the aggravated sexual battery case that's on the calendar?
The date for the aggravated sexual battery is 2019, actually.
When in 2019?
January 8th of 2019.
All right. Now you can give me the background information.
As I was saying, basically, the case all came about when there was allegations of fraud. When they found the fraud allegations, the 4 cases came about. During the investigation for the fraud, officers extracted and reviewed cell phones and other devices and found the child pornography. The child pornography led to a further investigation, which there was kind of a press release. Once Mr. Williams' name was out, several women came forward giving additional information. From those interviews, we were able to gain information about this.
What's wrong with your mask? It's distracting. It's real flicked. Do you need a new one?
If your Honor would like.
You can bend the bridge, but it looks like you're losing part of it. Just for my safety, but it's yours too. I understand someone contracted COVID in the courtroom last week.
Understood, thank you. Again, after the press release, women came forward, and that's how it led to us finding and interviewing the current victim in this case that did stem previously, but they were all related to what was discovered.
So when did she come forward?
From my review of the case, we heard about it after the discovery of the child porn in July of 2020. And then after talking to her, she allowed us to find out that the case actually happened previously in 2019.
It's very general, so she came forward sometime after July of 22. You don't know specifically when it was?
No, Your Honor. I know that after the child pornography case came about, and there was a press release.
Right, I heard all of that. I was curious to know when she came forward after all of those things happened. But you don't know?
I know that it was in the summer of, probably, I would say, summer of 2023, actually.
Right. Anything else?
That's the further from the statement.
And the two grounds that you cited as the basis of your opposition were flight risk and danger to the community?
Flight risk, danger to the community, and risk of
Ms.
intimidation.
Taylor, slow down. Let me finish my question and stop talking over me, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. My question was, were the two grounds you cited in opposition to bond, flight risk and danger to the community?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else?
I also cite risk of intimidation and potential to commit further felony.
All right. Ms. Rondon, anything else on behalf of your client? Got an uphill battle.
Your Honor, I would just also like to mention that Mr. Williams is facing some serious medical conditions that would be better addressed and treated outside of the care
Sure
of.
they would, but he knew that he was facing those conditions before some of this stuff happened. So if he wanted top medical care, he probably should have thought about that before he put himself in a situation where he'd get arrested, don't you think?
Your Honor, I would just ask to please set a reasonable bond in this case, nothing further.
All right. And I appreciate your argument. The court doesn't believe that there is much that I have to work with. You're looking at a defendant who is currently under investigation for an aggravated sexual battery and rape case and aggravated sodomy with some related crimes, including trafficking a person for sexual servitude. It also appears that there are, as has been detailed, 4 pending complaints in Fulton County against your client, 2 for theft by deception, both from 2021, a child pornography case, charges stemming from an incident that is alleged to have occurred in July of 2022, and a 3rd theft by deception charge from June of 2022. In addition, Mr. Williams has 4 prior convictions: a 1988 theft, a 1990 armed robbery, a 1992 armed robbery, and a 2006 false statements case. Significantly for the court, for the 2 armed robberies from 90 and 92, as you heard me examining the state, Mr. Williams would have served a minimum of 10 years. Mr. Williams, how much time did you serve in those 2 cases?